Hello, Steve again. Man, we're almost at the final end of this book, and I hope these chapters have been beneficial to you. We talked about the predatory contractors in the last part of this recovering resilience part 3. Um, well, hopefully you found somebody, or you would find somebody good at this point, and even a good contractor. You still want to protect yourself as a homeowner. I do a lot of commercial work. Commercial is much better protected paperwork wise than residential. Homeowners aren't used to a lot of big contracts and stuff. So usually those are a few pages, nothing too large, but just understand, like, especially if a permit's being pulled, when you fill out that NOC, that notice of commencement, where you have to sign and then it gets notarized there, but also that NOC allows other subcontractors to put liens against your home that work for the contractor. So if the general contractor might not be the company that did the roof, he hires a roofer, the roofer does the work, you pay the contractor to pay the roofer. Well, the contractor pockets the money, never pays the roofer, and you don't know that because you don't see that transaction. You just assumed you paid him to pay the other. And if that never happens, you may not know it. 30 days, 60 days later, you get a lien placed on there by the roofer because he never got his payment. And, and by then you've maybe paid the contractor the next draw or his final. You finaled and paid him the rest of the money. You need to collect, release liens before you make additional payments. So if you made that first payment, for, let's say, a material for all the roofing materials, framing materials, and he comes, they do the work, they do the roof, do the framing, says, I want to be paid for the finished roof, finished framing. Say, I gave you $30,000 for the materials. I want the roofer to sign a release saying I was paid for my materials, and you give me a release saying I paid you for your materials. So the way that works is the roofer's not going to sign if that contractor never gave him the money, because he's not going to give away his ability to lien your home. So he doesn't want to give up his rights. He'll only do that if he's been paid, and that will tell you. So you not paying that next draw without that keeps money in your pocket, so that if the GC did take off, hopefully you've got money held back that can pay that roofer or whoever has that lien, because it may be hard to get that money back from that contractor without a legal lawsuit and years later, but the roofer is going to want his money. And with that lien, obviously there's, you can't sell your home. It's, a mark and a stain on your home, right, in the public record. So it's important that you collect those documents. It's all legal. It's all within your rights. It is not a lot of contractors do these very well, and they get frustrated because, especially on the residential side, they don't do a lot of paperwork. A lot of them don't use even computers, some of the old school carpenters. So they did get a little frustrated, but it's your job to stand firm and protect yourself. So I hope this is beneficial. A lot of legal language and everything, but it should be beneficial to you. So hope you enjoy. Thanks.